do appreciate and very much are working towards that indigenous peoples and local communities have their voices heard, that they are part of everything that is being done, all governance and everything. It's really, really important. And with that, as we are a little bit late, I want you look at this beautiful, beautiful picture, ancestral knowledge and climate change. And I will ask Daniela Díaz to come up and present the work of Foundation Cordosolares, and also linking up with the beautiful book that is out there for all of us to look at. The floor is yours.
Oops. Hello to everyone. I'm very happy to be here. And first, I want to thank you, Francisca, for all your support. Yeah, it's good? Okay? Okay, so first I want to thank you, to thank Francisca for all her passion, all the love that she put in the projects with native people and communities. Without your help, nothing of this will be possible. So that's the first thing I want to say. I know that we don't have too much time, so I will try to be very brief. And I want to also say thank you to my team. I'm the visible face of this project, but there's so many people that is behind all this. And we have put a lot of care, a lot of love. So, okay, let's start. So where do we work? We work in the Atacama Desert in the north of Chile, in one of the 3 reserves of Philanthropia Cortesolari. This is called the Puribeter Elemental Reserve. And we work in the desert, in the middle of nowhere, where it's very hard, it's very dry, and the conditions are really hard. But even that, there are local communities that are called Atacameños Licanantay, that they have been living here for 11,000 of years. So of course, all what they have can teach us, it's a lot. So that's why we're working with them. They have a lot of culture, a lot of archaeologists, a lot of meanings in all their stories that are very important. So who do we work with and why? We work with 21 cultores, preservers of ancestral knowledge. And why we work with them? First, because they are holders of ancestral knowledge and practices that are important for dealing with climate change and biodiversity loss. The knowledge they possess should be made visible and be heard by society as a whole, especially what is happening today, right? So it's important in the conversation about how to mitigate impacts on nature. It's vital to create a registry that could be shared to promote ancestral practices. And at the end, but very important for us, is revitalize indigenous language. The language of the Atacameño Licanantay is the Kunsa. And we know that every language contains a unique way of inhabiting the world. So how do we do this? I will try to explain very brief the different stages of the project. In the beginning, it was the selection of interview subjects and research. We choose with a very, very beautiful and care team, the people that we want to interview. One of them are Purikamanis, that are the caregivers of water, the Yatiris, that are the shamans, or the people that are very wise and have a lot of knowledge, and the traditional educators. All of them have a lot of knowledge about their traditions, their customs, and we really need them. So the second stage was research and design with local relevance and review. So all the things that you will see in the book, all the symbols, all the illustrations, the photography, everything has a root of investigation, of research, because we want to take care a lot of all of the knowledge of the communities and being very respectful of that. The third, and very important for us, was the review of material by the cultores. And this is very important for us, and we want to change the methodology in this point, because in general, nobody asked the communities, right? So our idea is to change that. So they review the book, not one time, not 2 times, a lot of times, of all the photographs, all the things that they are saying is what they want to show us and they want to teach us. So that's the point I want to make there. And at the end, and very important, was the lunch in the territory. For us, it was very important because we present the book with their communities, with their families, with their own people. So now we're able to put all this all around the world, but first it was in their own territory. And so here's the book. Here's the collection of the book, Ancestral Wisdom on Climate Change. You will find 10 books on different topics, and also you will find 21 educational videos on the cultures and their territory. You will find there their own messages, by their own voices. You can download their messages, and so you can find anything you can of the interview and everything we have made. Main conclusion of the book, very short. One of the chapters was Puri. Puri is water in Kunsa, their language. And water is very important and is in all their traditions, in all their rituals, in all the calendars. And also they teach us about the different traditions and activities that they make with water. One is called Limpia de Canales, that is the cleaning of canals. And here we can learn about Aini, reciprocity, and the way they connect with the element of water. So here is a sentence, little sentence that was of Rubén Colque of Alto Loa province, and it says, in the past, water was well taken care of. To put it simple, it was shared and used in a good way. Water is sacred. According to our cosmovision, consciousness can be created, one can be spiritually reborn, return to the idea of the community, return to the ancestral. And so, well, you can find a lot of different sentences in the book that you can find, but the important is that you will find their own voices. And the second chapter was Seed, that in Kunsa means muhu, and it's important because all the ancestral memory that you can have in a seed, and also the non-material cultural patrimony, the focus on biodiversity that it has, and also the conservation of the seed, the protection of the seed, that is really, really important. And also, yeah, in Puriveter Elemental Reserve, we also have a seed bank that is very important for teaching and for the children to know all this knowledge. Erika Perez, other women that we interviewed, says, a seed is very powerful, whatever type of seed it is, it holds great power given to us by our planet, the sun, the rain, the wind, Pachamama, Patahoiri. And here's another sentence, we perform a ritual. Everything is about permission and ritual before you make something. Planting a seed in the earth because it's sacred. We seed the sack of wheat or whatever we're going to plant on the ground. First, we add coca leaves to the seed and then ask for permission from Mother Earth. I do this every year for planting. That's what said Juana Anza. And in the third and the last one is the Andean time, that in Kunsa is Tiempia Lericochaya. And our way of seeing time in the Western is more like linear and unilateral, right? It's past, present, and future. And indigenous communities teach us something different. Teach us that the time is a spiral. Sometimes it's hard to explain, but you can see the different textiles where you can imagine how is the cycle of seeing life. And there's a time to plant, a time to harvest. There's a time to go out and a time to come in. Time to move and time to rest. And they saw the time in a different way, with the moon, with the stars, with the constellations. It's other way of seeing time, it's other way of consciousness. And here is a sentence, everything works perfectly, in perfect synchronicity, that is never behind or ahead. It all happened in defined perfect timing, more perfect than a clock, because these types of telling time don't break or fail. That's Roberto Garcia of Catarpe. And here's the senses of the moon and the special, how they see that. And as a conclusion, what is the role of indigenous community in the fight against climate change? So the first idea is their cosmovision, right? It's trying to change the way we think is more centered, that the human is the center of the life. No, this is different. We are trying, the Andean communities teach us that is more an eco way of seeing life, right? Where we have to respect everyone and everything. The second, there's sustainable practice which can be applied to everyday life, and you can find it in the book, very daily practice that you can do and being concrete with all this. And the third is the preservation of the culture and ancestry, as well as teaching for future generations. And we want to finish with this sentence that is for Pablo Cruz, and make us reflect on this is going to be just a cycle, and Patahoiri will go on, not us. We won't always be here. So I invite everyone to reflect on this, on the empathy we have for Mother Nature, not to look at her as an inanimate object, but as a living being. And all in good time, that's what they said in Andean communities. So we hope that all these books also can get to all the places that is needed. Thank you very much.